So hello, my name is Mark Hatchadorian, and we're at the New York Botanical Garden for the flowering of the corpse flower, which is the first time it's bloomed since 2016. It's a special event for us because we here at the New York Botanical Garden historically were the first people to flower this plant in cultivation in North America. So for us to be reblooming this plant is not only a great way for us to share this with the public, but also reconnect with some of our history. The corpse flower was first flowered in 1939 here at the garden, and we've been cultivating them only recently once again, in which we received a group of plants, and about 7 to 10 years after receiving these plants, we then first got our bloom in 2016, and then surprising us recently, having this second bloom, which is now a total of 77 inches tall and 48 inches wide, and you can see is attracting quite a crowd of people coming all day long to be able to not only see the plant in bloom, but also helping to catch a little bit of that famous fragrance. The plant itself, we noticed at the beginning of June, started producing a flower bud, and in 2 weeks went from only about 6 inches tall to 57 inches tall. So going from the 1st of June to today, in 27 days it's grown 77 inches. The flower began to open at about 5 p.m. yesterday and slowly sort of peeling back, with reaching its peak about midnight. Once the flower first opens, the fragrance is at its strongest. So when we came in first thing in the morning, the room was completely filled with this very strong odor of rotting flesh. Not the most pleasant of things, but as the people are circulating through, the fragrance is dissipated a little bit, but it also is produced in waves. The fragrance is not a constant. So the reason why the flower produces this famous horrible fragrance is because it's attracting a pollinator, which are flies and beetles that feed on rotting flesh. So not only does the plant look like rotting meat with that blood red color, it smells like rotting meat, but also, fascinatingly enough, the flower undergoes a chemical reaction within the cells of the bloom that heat up the flower up to almost 90 degrees or more. So that heat helps distribute the fragrance and also completes the image to an insect that the flower is not a bloom, but rotting flesh. So this plant has become quite famous or infamous in the past few years because it is a rare event when they bloom. Because not only does it take 7 to 10 years for it to bloom, but it's this very ephemeral, some people describe it as kind of a once-in-a-lifetime event, because once this flower is open, it only stays open for about 2 to 3 days. So there's a very narrow window of opportunity to come see it. And we've had hundreds, if not thousands of people watching on our live webcam, hoping to time their visit at exactly the right moment to come and see the corpse flower in bloom. And as you can see behind me, it's quite spectacular. The plant will grow for a period of about 7 to 10 years, getting larger each year. You can see at the base of the plant here, there's a group of seedlings that are actually the babies from our plant that bloomed in 2016. Those plants are the result of us sending pollen to the Denver Botanical Garden, and those flowers their flower being pollinated. We got some seed. They were sown in February, and you can see the babies here just shy of, approaching their year old soon. And then over the next 7 to 10 years, they'll get larger and larger, and you can see behind the flower what looks like sort of a green umbrella or a palm tree. That's actually the single leaf of another corpse flower. So the leaves can actually get enormous, 10 feet high, 12 feet wide. They're huge. So the plant will continually produce leaves, storing up enough energy, and after 7 to 10 years, will produce a flower. When, where, is only the plant knows for sure. We can't exactly tell it when to bloom. And as I said, you're here at the right moment to catch the plant and flower for the next 2 to 3 days, because you're here at the peak of the bloom.